Hello, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is Sarah. If you're new to my channel, I talk about change, I talk about stepping outside your comfort zone, and slow travel on a budget. So thank you so much for tuning in today. So today's topic I want to talk about, I took a Greyhound bus for 16 hours to come visit my friend here in North Carolina. So I left Erie, Pennsylvania, and it took me 16 hours to get here. I'm in Erie, Pennsylvania, about to get on the Greyhound. I'm headed to North Carolina. This is the Greyhound station. It's not like most bus stations across the rest of the world where they're packed. There's like 3 people in here waiting, so let's go. And the cost of this was $150. It's gonna take take me like 16, 18 hours. So if you have time, we'll see how my journey is. I know if you guys are from the US, you're probably thinking, why in the world would you do that when you can fly? And flying is probably going to be cheaper. So just a little background on this. Flying was not cheaper because somebody does not buy her tickets in advance, and I never know what I'm doing until 1 or 2, maybe max of 5 days before I do it. With that said, it was also the holidays. So holiday travel is expensive. So I thought, I'll take the bus. That leads us to, why did I take the Greyhound bus? So to get from Erie to Charlotte, North Carolina, it cost me $150. To fly the day that I wanted to go, because I know what day I want to go. When I finally decide when to go, I wanted to go the day I want to go. So it cost me $150 versus a $330 one-way flight. And going to and from Erie is never easy, but now they have direct flights from Charlotte to Erie, which is good if I would have booked it earlier and if it wasn't Thanksgiving holiday. So how was my 16-hour bus ride? So if you guys have been following me, I have been traveling all over the world. I've taken buses in almost every single country that I've been in. I took multiple night buses in Colombia, multiple buses in Ecuador, Argentina, Thailand, Cambodia. So I thought taking a bus in the US, something I haven't done since I was a kid. So when we were little, we used to take the Greyhound to visit my grandma from Kentucky to Pennsylvania. It always takes forever. So I was just like, okay, let me do it as an adult, since I've never done it as an adult and as a budgeting backpacker. So first I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks on what to do when you do travel by Greyhound. Actually, it's almost by any type of bus you take, you need these tips, because I have watched a few videos on Greyhound advice, and it's kind of the same all over. Any bus you take, it's the same in like Colombia, maybe not so much in like hot countries, but in countries where it does get cold at night. With that said, buses get very cold at night. There is no exception to the Greyhound. So I already kind of knew this. So I had like a hoodie, I had a jacket, I had a hat. I also had like a sarong and like a scarf. So when it got cold, and I wore socks with closed-toed shoes because it got so cold on the bus at night. But it wasn't a surprise to me because in Colombia I used to carry a blanket with me. So if you're a frequent Greyhounder or frequent bus traveler, you will know, always bring warm clothes in your carry-on, because you are probably going to need them if it's at night bus. Maybe not in Asia because it's so hot all the time, you might not need that. But for traveling on Greyhound in the US, it will get cold at night. Another thing to know, so buses all across the world say they have free Wi-Fi on the bus. Yes, it's on the side of the bus. Every single bus, you might have a code. You might have to click a little yes, I agree. But with that said, the chances of it working is 50-50. So one of the buses out of 3 had Wi-Fi. There's the bus to my second bus, headed to West Virginia, and then one more bus to Charlotte. Seems pretty empty so far. A few tips of what to do is always make sure the chargers work at the seat you're sitting in. If it doesn't work, try to switch if possible. Okay, so this is one thing I learned on the Greyhound. They say get there 30 minutes early for the Greyhound. So I'm always early anyways. So I did get there 30 minutes early, which I highly, highly recommend, because is what happens is when you get to the Greyhound station, you go check in, and first things first, make sure that you have your ticket printed, because when I bought my ticket, it said you have to print it because they have to have the barcode to scan, so you need to print your tickets. So do this beforehand, and then the other option is to print it at the station, but that said it's going to cost me $5. I'm not sure if it really will, or if they'll just print it for you anyways, or you have to pay when you get there. Just be safe, just be smart, be safe, print it before you get there, because that just avoids a lot of hassle. Because someone in front of me didn't have it printed, and then he had to go through this whole thing. So if possible, print your tickets up so you have them. And once you print them, you'll go check in. They'll give you a ticket to put on your bag, so it'll go to your destination, but you still pick your bag up and on, but just when they're stopping the bus and other passengers are getting off, they know you're not getting off, so your bag doesn't come off the bus. You will always have your bag though, so when a bus stops and it's switching or you have a layover, you still collect your own baggage. It's not like a plane where it goes straight there. You have to physically collect your baggage, wait, and then when you get on the bus, you recheck it. So get there 30 minutes early so you can do those few things, and you can stand in line. Okay, I'm a nerd. I'm going to stand in line and wait because I want to be first one on that bus. Number one reason, I want to get a window seat. I want to get a seat by myself. I just mainly want to get a seat because rumor has it, sometimes if the Greyhound is really full, you will not get a seat. And then if you're in the back, maybe you'll miss your bus. That's just things I've read. That didn't happen to me. And also, then you know if your bus is on time, what the schedule is, what's going on with your bus. I was really lucky. My bus, I took 3 buses. All 3 buses were on time. My arrival to Charlotte, it said 4:06, was arrived in Charlotte, North Carolina, 4:10 a.m. First time a bus has ever been on time in the U.S. Our bus used to break down all the time and we were always late. So I was like mentally prepared. So when you are going to take a bus anywhere, you have to have the time. You can't be on a schedule. You have to be okay with just being like more chill, more loosey-goosey. So, but my bus arrived at like 4:10 in the morning, and I was like, I assumed it was going to be late, and it wasn't. It was like on time. So every single bus I had was on time. The drivers were really good. They kept you up to date on what was going on. And it was just like such a nice experience compared to what I had read online. The other thing, I had to seat mostly to myself. Someone sat next to me intermittently. So Greyhound stop a lot. The bus driver, when he stops, he or she will tell you how long they're stopped for, and they may say like 10 minutes, we're at a convenience store if you want to go in, grab some food or whatnot. And they'll also tell you, if this is the stop, please don't get off, because a lot of people get on the bus. A lot of people don't like to fly, so they'll take the bus, or they're smokers and they'll want to smoke more frequently than on a plane if it's a long trip. So they'll tell you, hey, there's a smoke break, you can get off for 10 minutes and get back on, blah, blah, blah. And they usually check all over around the world. They check to make sure that they know how many people are on the bus, that they're not missing somebody. So that I did notice they still do that also here. The Greyhound drivers do get on off and check to make sure you're there. But they stop a lot, but they only stop briefly. The max stop I had was 10 minutes. And if they stop at a big station, they tell you, like, for example, I stopped in Charleston, West Virginia. I had to get off. They say door 1, door 2, door 3. They tell you exactly where to go. So it was really nice and convenient for me, especially because being in a country that doesn't speak the language, I never understand if they're saying that or not, and I'm always just the lost one. But here I kind of knew. I was like, oh cool, I got my bag, got in line, and I did the same thing over and over 3 times. There's like this fear around taking the bus in the US, and I don't know where it started or how it got there. It's like, tell people I'm taking the bus, they kind of look at me funny, which is a horrible stigma to have, because I don't think that there should be a stigma on public transportation. But in another country, you say you're taking the bus, no one looks at you. But in the US, you say you're taking a bus and people kind of like turn their noses up at you, which I think is not a very nice thing to do, because just because you're taking the bus, it doesn't mean anything about you as a person. Like, you shouldn't be judging people. So I know people don't take it because it takes forever. People are a little scared because it stops in these little tiny towns. I just don't know why there has to be such a fear-based society, and you have to be afraid of everything, and you have to be afraid to do certain things. This is not just bus related, it's total travel related, because something can happen to you on the bus, or when you're driving, or when you're on a plane. I mean, the main rules are show up early to the bus station, get in line, get your ticket printed, and know how long your layovers are. Know exactly what door to go to. just like when you're flying, just know when you're supposed to be there, when you're supposed to show up, have your ticket ready, and have some entertainment downloaded just in case you're there longer, and always have an extra portable battery pack. I carry a battery pack and always make sure it's charged just in case the plug in front of me didn't work. Then I would have been more conscientious of how much I use my phone. And the Wi-Fi thing is probably not going to work, so don't depend on Wi-Fi, because just don't. I don't depend on Wi-Fi anywhere I go, and if I don't have Wi-Fi, I don't have Wi-Fi, and I can't do anything because I don't have cell service either. Drop me a comment if you've ever taken the bus. Don't forget to subscribe, and leave me like some advice if you've taken the bus. What are your thoughts, your feelings? Did you like it? Did you have the worst experience of your life? Are you never going to do it again? And yeah, just let me know what you thought about it. I survived 16 hours on the Greyhound, and nothing happened to me. I was safe. I was in one piece when I got there. For everyone who worries about taking the bus, I was completely fine traveling by myself on the bus, and it was cool. I slept most of the time actually, and I watched a lot of Netflix, so it's cool. And we had to stop to get food. So thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the little notification bell if you like this content. Give me an up or down, just letting me know if you do like this content. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.